I made a game in a week, and it was fun. You hear that? That yeah. That's my voice in the game. That's me. Now, you may be wondering, why did you do this? Well, because it was fun. And I want you to have fun too. So that's why I'm going to share the most important secrets I learned this past week so that you can skip the growing pains and have a blast. Having priorities makes everything easier. Prioritizing is basically just saying, hey, I have a limited amount of time and I can either do one thing or do another thing that may be more important. You probably knew that already. You probably do that already. So what gives? How does this make my life any easier, you may be wondering? Well, I'll show you how to prioritize. Okay, yeah, I made a list. Big whoop. But let's be real, if you're watching this video, you don't make lists. Nobody does. Everybody says they do, but they don't. So I'll give you every single detailed step, one by one, so that you will never be stuck on making a list for your projects ever again. First, define your limitations. I was participating in a game jam on itch.io, so I was lucky. This part was done for me. My limitations were, I had to make a game using pixel art, and it had to match this theme, From the Dead. So I came up with a very simple idea. Corpses literally resurrect. Yeah, I mean, that's not exactly creative, but it's something. So now I knew what I wanted to make. My next question was, how in fuck do we make this? Yeah, this is straight from my game design document, which, by the way, is titled Baller Plan for Easy 5-Day Win. And here's how I decided we were going to make this. Yeah, don't think too deep about it. And very quickly, I decided on what we needed next. Corpse-like monsters come back from the dead, so obviously we needed monsters. And you can tell from this paragraph that I really didn't think too much about it, and I stand by that decision because once you have any idea, no matter how dumb it is, you have something to work towards, and that makes it straightforward. And straightforward equals fast. Next, the gimmick, or the game mechanic. When I said, how are we going to make this, I meant that literally. I dove right into all the logic of my game, how it's gonna work, and how we're going to implement it. I think that's what the nerds call pseudocode. Do that. Always do that. Trust me, if you want to take anything from this video, it's this. Do pseudocode for anything. Pseudocode your game, pseudocode your grocery trip, pseudocode your life. Heck, I pseudocoded this video. Do the logic now, so that when you're actually doing the thing, you don't have to think as much. And while we're saving brain power, why not knock out some things you know you're not going to do? Like here, where we decided I wasn't going to make a totally unnecessary boss fight given the time restriction, and over here, where I decided there will not be a rat. And now finally, you're ready to make a checklist. A checklist is like pseudocode to the extreme. You're pseudocoding your pseudocode, which is next level, and it makes things so easy and feels so good. See all these steps? I knocked out 14 of them on day one. That's like over half of the game. Can you imagine how powerful I felt? How invested I was into making this game? Think about it. Nobody gives up after they finished making half the gosh darn game. Remember when I said I made half the game on the first day? When I said how good it felt to check off all those boxes? Do you know why I needed that? Well, this is why. See, at this step, here's what I was working with. And I needed to get to here. And you might be thinking, that's not too bad. It doesn't even look that good, which, first of all, ouch. And second of all, just a stupid little guy took me like 3 hours to make all his sprites. He goes down, he goes up, he goes left and right, and he attacks in all of those directions. Which, I mean, doesn't sound like a lot when I say it like that, but I didn't know how to do it. So I learned, and I did it. I made the guy, I made these things, I made these silly little tiles, And I even had time to make the sound effects, which is surprisingly easy. And you know what? Until I made the art and these sounds and put it all together, I didn't feel anything towards my game. It was just a lifeless mesh of bare bones logic and sloppy, commentless code. I really gotta fix that habit. But now it's kind of cool. It has life, personality, it has muscles! And all of a sudden, it made me feel proud of my creation. So listen, real talk, it's your turn now.